Pisces, welcome to your June 2019 love reading. I hope you guys are doing really well. Let's take a look into your love life for June 2019. Please remember that this is a general reading. I'm just going to do that 3 times. All right, Pisces, let's see what you got. The first card is the Tower card. All right, so some of you guys are coming into June with, yes, destruction. Something, an incident happened that you're still trying to understand, that you're trying to overcome, but this has to happen for a reason. That what just happened had to happen for you to be here right now, for you to look at things, for you to realize something, to realize what is wrong with this person, why this person is no longer good for you. But also, I mean, here we're going just based on one card here, of course. It could be so many things. It could be the other person. It could be you. It could be both of you. It could be miscommunication. It could be a lot of things, right? So that's where we're at with the Tower card. Okay, then we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is foundation. That's everything, right? Foundation, whether you're talking about a house, whether you're talking about a business. 4 corners that you're starting from the bottom from. Now, I also want to mention this. The fact that the Tower card and the Four of Wands, I know what you're thinking, why isn't a destruction card here? Then we have a beautiful card of, you know, even marriage, even celebration. Again, foundation, something beautiful, a celebration. But why next to one another? Well, like I said, the Tower card is not a bad card. It looks like a bad card. It sounds like a bad card. But it's really not. No matter how it went down, this is for you to, it's like leaving that chapter. It has to end, right? You have to continue to the next chapter. There's no way in staying in that same chapter. There's no way in reading backwards. You have to move on to the next. Okay? Whether this has caused a big old argument, even a breakup, even a separation. But it's for you to realize what's going on, what's been going on. How do I really feel? How, what happened? What really happened? Now, you can't sit there and blame yourself the whole time, and you can't blame the other person the whole time. Okay, like I said, this is just kind of like one of those that this has to happen for you. Now, the next step after this Tower card, after this destruction, this what happened moment, we move on to something. It's like an eye opener. The feeling feels different. the way you see things is different. So, the fact that these two cards are side by side, I think that's great. Great. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. Wands are having to do with energy. Also fire sign, Aries, Leo, and a Sagittarius. Also with over here. So some of you guys may be dealing more with a fire sign or someone who carries that strong fiery energy. So let's talk about this card. This card is a fast card and more in energy. You're probably thinking, what do you mean energy? Like I drank a whole gallon of coffee and I have energy for days? No, I don't mean that. I mean your body is constantly just, let's go here, let's do this, let's move here, let's, you're just, your body is just going and going and going. But that's also not a good thing, because you are not being cautious of the consequences. You're not thinking. You're not emotionally, putting that, you're not putting your emotions into it. It's just like your body's just kind of going. Your energy is there, but everything else is not. In other words, you're not balanced. You're just moving at 1,000 miles per hour. You just want to jump onto the next thing. And then the next and next and next, and just, it's like you're trying to avoid. You're trying to brush things under the rug. You're just trying to be like, you know what? Okay, this happened, that happened. We're done. It's over. Fine. Okay, let's move on. Where we going? We're moving. What's next? Like, wow. Like, hold up. Like, are you okay? And I mean, again, I understand for some of you guys, it was something very serious. So for, the destruction happened, and for you guys to kind of be like, okay, you know what? Like, let's talk about it. Like, what really happened? How did this happen? What did we fall apart at? Or, like that. And it's like, all right, we asked questions back and forth, but it's going to take longer than a month. It's going to take a couple months to really understand where you're at. And then to understand where they're at. But really, it's not about them. It's about you. Everyone. It's really on you. How do you feel? How do you see things? So, the fact that everything happened so fast and you're trying to work it out right now, or you're trying to move on, you're not balanced. You're not focusing on what you need to focus in. And you know what you need to do. You know exactly how you feel. And you brushing it under the rug is not going to get you far. It's going to make you feel like you can't talk to anyone. You can't express yourself. It's like you can't even express yourself to yourself. Your thoughts are just running and running and running and running, and it's like it's a never ending. But you might be good in trying to work it out, but really in your mind you're like, you feel so different. You look at it so different. So by you jumping to the next thing and just trying to brush away what's really hurting you, what's affecting you, it's just gonna make you go back to square one. eventually it's going to go back to square one. So there is some lack of communication, even though you might have gone to a point where you guys sat there and talked about it. How are we doing this, or what happened? Yes, that's great, talking about it. But I don't think a lot of people take the time to understand how they really feel. I know that's kind of like a silly question or a silly way to put it, but really that's how I look at it. As you can go through a breakup, you can go, and I mean, it could be for anything, whether they were talking to other people, it doesn't matter what it was. But if it really hurts you, and by sitting there one night and talking about it, like, I don't think that's gonna fix anything. I really don't think by talking about it is going to fix anything. I know. I'm like, it takes time. It takes time, it takes effort. And believe me, actions speak louder than words. And that's how I work. So I can sit with you and talk to you. And yeah, I'm listening. But the pain, the emotions, they're still there. Do I need to work on some ways on how I feel and how I look at things? Maybe. Does that person need to also think about, and, in other words, I understand we're talking. That's how a couple should do. But it's really understanding and agreeing and showing emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. All of those play a part in, to have a success in a relationship. The Three of Swords. And we continue with the thoughts. The Three of Swords is a card of, yes, heartache. Not emotionally, though, mentally. Yes, I know I've said in the past, communication is everything. It is. But also by showing, expressing, change as well. And I don't mean change to a different person from one day to another. I mean, if you can do that, then by all means. But just looking at life differently and understanding more about the person that you're with, the real them, but more importantly, yourself. Dive into yourself. How do you see life? How do you picture your life? How do you want your life to go? The Page of Cups. The pages are messengers. The pages are young people. Young at heart. So we have here the Page of Cups. Cups, again, is our emotions. we see a fish. Now, love life is pretty rocky with that fish being there. The Page of Cups is, yes, creations. Could be messages as well, whether a new project, a new idea, or just, just a talent that you have, a hobby. But really, I think this card is coming up because this is more about self-love and understanding and learning more about yourself, about your real self. Something has to change. Now, we can't force anyone to change. So, if we change ourselves, at least the way we look at things. And right there, that's when, the person that you're with will see the way you look at life differently, and some will tag along and be like, you know what, I want to look at life how you look at life. There's some that just, they're good where they're at. And I mean it in a way like no, you should get on the ball and understand more about life. And I'm not talking about get a job, buy a house, have children, get married, and that end. No. There's more to life than that. So, love life. Again, Pisces, I see more in your mind. You're hurting. You're hurting, and instead of talking about it, about how you really feel, I feel as if you're just, kind of just going with the flow. But, as we can see here, it's not going to take you far. You're going to eventually explode. The Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, you're holding on way too tightly. I mean, it is a pentacle sign, the coin sign, the money sign, the abundance sign. But whether you're holding on to money, you're holding on to this person, this relationship because of the money, but it can also be you're holding on to things that really don't matter. It's like you keep bringing up the past. You keep bringing up the same pain, the same thing over and over. The Hanged Man. Looking at life, looking at things in a different perspective. You're being patient. You're hoping that things will change. Now, of course, it's a nice card, right? Because you're trying to look at it in different ways instead of just your way. Patience, it's great to have patience and to have hope. But the Hanged Man is the Hanged Man. What are you really doing physically to make things happen? It takes two. Now, if you have been the one putting in the effort, then you might want to back away a little bit. But I don't think that's the case. I don't see that this relationship has hit rock bottom and there's no way back and forward, nothing. It's over, it's done with. I don't. I still believe that you have hope and you still want this relationship to work. But I kind of feel like it's the same system that you guys go through, that you follow, and that system is not working. So what you both need to do is find a new system that works for both of you. Because by you waiting and being patient and just, we talked about it, we're going to try to work it out. I'm just trying to look at it a different way. I really don't feel like effort is being put into. Now, I'm not putting the blame on you because who knows who you're dealing with? Only you do. Only you know how that person has been doing. The Two of Cups. There you go. Partnership. Coming together. It's a nice card. The overall energy is the Fool card. The Fool card is a card of a traveler, a young thinker. I like this card in a way like I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm just ready for the next thing. I'm gonna go travel. I'm gonna start my own business. Like I'm ready to go. I'm not looking back. I'm not afraid of anything, and I'll see you when I see you. Sounds like a great way of looking at life, but also it sounds a little you're just kind of being like, you know what, whatever happens, happens. Like, whatever. So, Pisces, it does seem a bit confusing, complicated. But if you really want it, you have to work towards the right path, the right way. Learn more about yourself. Go outside. Enjoy Mother Nature. I want to pull a card for you guys from the Dark Mirror deck. Alright, you guys got... I'm actually going to zoom you guys in. Blinded to pain. Wow. And on the sides here are the moon phases. Before I look into the book, I want you guys to take a look at the card. How does this card make you feel? What do you see? What do you want to change? All right. So the stage of this moon is denial. Well, no, I'm sorry. The moon phase is a waning crescent. The stage of the moon is denial. I can shoulder it, and it's not a big deal, isn't it? Flies pinned, not pinned, but ordered as bees, feeding of the neatly arranged blood. A woman's chest carved by a blade in a diamond pattern, full lips the color of blood, a blindfold on whom the last fly lingers. Carving oneself for every stroke of whip, and feeling so broken that it makes no difference to be whole. T.C. Eliot said, "A fly that lives a single day has lived as long as we, yet we accept the passage of time like it didn't matter, like we don't matter. Every day, a single line is added to the pattern. A single fly is added to the wall. We take one more responsibility. We take a little more abuse. We shoulder a little more pain. We smile in front of a little more insolence. We close our eyes to our wounds. We think we can endure it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. We say to ourselves, like men, because it's mainly to endure and be strong. Like women, because it's feminine to endure and be strong. Like humans, because the care and gentleness we feel is precious to others, and we don't dare to actually claim for ourselves. After all, we can do it. But it actually hurts. It's painful. Tears are better than feeling flies with our own blood. We can scream and say no, or endure nevertheless, but remembering that we are just humans, neither heroes nor saints. I like that card. That card is very deep. And I also like this deck as well. It's very deep. It's what it is. It's like looking into a mirror, but not seeing the outside. It's seeing the inside, the real you. That person that's inside, that wants to come out, that needs to be seen, that needs to be understood. And you are the only person that can see the real you, right? Bring out the real you so you see yourself like that. But guess what? Other people are going to see you like that. But they might not understand. But with you, the way you speak to them, the way you make them understand you, they don't have to accept you, they don't have to love you. But just the way you carry yourself, people will start to see that, to notice it. And really, it doesn't matter what they think or what they say. Most importantly is how you feel and how you look at yourself, how you carry yourself, how you love yourself. Yes, we are human. Yes, we hurt. We go through good. We go through bad. We go through everything and anything. But we have to make the best of it. The fact that we're being compared here to a fly, well, as far as living, right? Pisces, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you guys want a private reading, my website is in the description. Until then, you guys take care.